This week, I introduce to you a brand new sentence. So complex, I can't even name it. So I've just called it the first thing I could think of. You ready? Here it is. We're going to have a go at the brand new, you're the first people to set eyes upon this apart from me, because I wrote this morning. You ready? We're going to say the name of it together. Go. The mega tsunami sentence. Because I don't know what else to call it. Do you want to have a look at how it goes? I tell you what, when we nail this one, I think something magical is going to happen in your life. I think something like you will have thousands of people swarming you in the streets and say, oh my gosh, you're the creator of the mega tsunami sentence. And I don't want you to say, no, that's Mr. C at Scribble Ink. Don't say that. Just go, yeah, actually I am. Just take all the credit. Sign autographs. They'll be giving you gifts, presents. It would be awesome. Walk down the street. Maybe get a t-shirt made with this sentence, all right? Yeah. Walk around the shopping centres and they will scream after you. How did you do that? High schoolers, it's true. Don't look at me like that. All right, let's have a look at one. You ready? Here comes the mega tsunami sentence. At the next corner, now see if you can follow this. At the next corner, where the water from the ice plant, this is back in the days when they used to make ice and deliver it to people so they could keep their food cold. Where the water from the ice plant used to come down, sob into a drain, which means leak into a drain, and reappear on the other side of the street. So this is all about the water here, this bit. So at the next corner, where the water used to come down, where the water used to leak into a drain, where the water used to reappear on the other side of the street. So around the corner, water would go down a drain and then reappear on the other side of the street. You got me so far? So that's the water. But Rabbit, the character, crosses over. So at the next corner where the water did all this, Rabbit crosses over and walks beside the gutter. You know what a gutter is on the side of the road? Yeah. Where the water used to run, but now it goes, in the drain. And the water used to coat the shallow side of its course. So wherever the water used to run, it used to coat it with ribbons of green slime. Have you ever seen water staying somewhere so long that green slime starts to appear?
Yeah.
It was waving and waiting. So the slime was waving and waiting to slip under your feet and dunk you if you dared walk on them. This is such a complex sentence, I could only call it the Mega Tsunami sentence. All right, we're going to have a go at writing one. So open up your writing books, not your scribble books, your writing book, and write this down. Get ready. We're going to write it in little chunks so we can see, oh yes, I can see the link between the Mega Tsunami and Mr. C's version. So write the title, the date, mark this date. It is the 30th of March, 2019, the day we invented the Mega Tsunami sentence. 30th of March. If you, high schoolers, if you could put one of these down at the start of your essay, oh my goodness. Right? Teacher's going to go ballistic. Seriously, they'll do cartwheels across the room. Primary schoolers, I don't think it would be fair to unleash this sentence on your teachers. They will fall. They will, I think they'll probably crawl into a ball and cry on the floor and say, why is this kid better than me? It's not fair. I think that will happen. Are you ready? So you've written the Mega Tsunami sentence, quickly. Write with me. So the first bit, at the next corner, we have at the bottom of the hill. Do you see the link? Obviously, that's an easy link. At the next corner, where? At the bottom of the hill. And you know what? High schoolers, particularly for you, this is how the professional sentences work. When I see an amazingly constructed sentence, I teach it. So if you're reading an author who is awesome at constructing sentences, like John Updike, like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, then you can borrow the structures for your own writing. But we bring you a whole bunch ourselves. Feel free to find your own as well if you see it. A lot of modern young children authors, you won't see mega structures like this, okay? You won't see it. Great storytelling, J.K. Rowling, great storytelling, excellent sentence construction, but you won't see these large things like this. So we have at the next corner, at the bottom of the hill, where the water from the ice plant used to come down, where the cars carrying budding authors used to come down. So I'm talking about this hill here at Griffith University. At the bottom of the hill, where the cars carrying budding authors used to come down, write that down. Direct link so far, exactly what's happening in the top, we can see down the bottom. Now, notice we have a verb. This water used to sob into a drain. Here we're talking about cars. So we'll see what verb. What do cars do down the bottom of a hill? Let's hear some ideas. Verbs.
Roll.
Roll, good one. What else do cars do? Once you've come down the hill, what do your parents do? Those who get driven by your parents. Or those who have highly trained chimpanzees. What do they do in the cars when they drop you off? Yeah.
Brake.
They brake. Good one. B-R-A-K-E. The cars brake, the cars roll. Let's see what Mr. C put. Park between the white lines. They do that too. See, they used to come down, park between the white lines. The water used to come down, sob into a drain. You feature in this sentence, Mr. P.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is the most complex sentence we've ever put together. It's going well so far. At the bottom of the hill, where the cars carrying budding authors used to come down, park between the white lines, up here, and reappear on the other side of the street, and deposit their little wordsmiths. That's you. Another word for author, wordsmith. Did you know that? Ava, you're a wordsmith. Yeah. Not related to Will. So, high schoolers, you're probably seeing the direct relation between that top sentence and the bottom one. It's exactly the same in structure, only the details are changing. Where there are key verbs, and reappear, and deposit. Okay? So that's what's important here, the placement of the verbs. Now we've got the character, Rabbit. Rabbit crosses over that street where the water used to be, and walks beside the gutter. Okay, let's see what Mr. P does. Mr. P crosses the bitumen, that's the road surface, and walks beside the parking bay. He crosses over and walks beside the gutter. Where? Structure's there, okay? Once you see, go, I see what Mr. C is doing here. Once you've got two, and you can see the links, you can make a third. Might be a little bit of a train wreck at the start, but when you practice, we're all about practice here. You can make something like this yourself. Mr. P crosses the bitumen and walks beside the parking bay where vehicles used to park. Now we've got coating the shallow side of its course. We need a verb. We need a verb. So these vehicles, we need a verb. Let's see what we've got. filling the side of the road with rows of gleaming metal. So these cars used to park between the white lines in rows of gleaming, which means shining, metal. Wow, which is exactly like with ribbons of green slime, with rows of gleaming metal. There's going to be a couple of verbs coming, waving and waiting. We'll see what Mr. C put. There's no way, this would take, honestly, I think this would take probably a week of constant practice at home if you were going to master this one. This is our most complex yet, but oh so rewarding. But I'm going to point some things out in a moment. So, let's see these cars that were lined up in rows of gleaming metal, not waving and waiting, they are standing and baking. What's the temperature like then? Hot, definitely. So these cars are standing and baking. Waiting to slip under your feet. So this slime is waiting to slip under your feet and dunk you. Let's see what these cars are waiting to do. Ready to swallow young sweating occupants at the conclusion of their lesson. So these cars used to park outside in rows of gleaming metal, waiting for these little kids to hop back in and roast them, cook them at the conclusion of their lesson. Whoa, this thing is fancy, mega fancy. That's why it's called the mega tsunami sentence. Let's have a look. I'm going to read it all together and get understanding. At the bottom of the hill, where the cars carrying budding authors used to come down, park between the white lines and deposit their little wordsmiths, Mr. P crosses the bitumen and walks beside the parking bay where vehicles used to park, filling the side of the road with rows of gleaming metal, standing and baking, ready to swallow young sweating occupants at the conclusion of their lesson. There isn't a grade 12 in the state, in Queensland, who should be writing a sentence like that. So to ask, Ava, you're about, what, grade 8, 9? What are you? Grade what? What? 2! No way, you can't write this down. Rub it all out. You should not be doing a sentence that hard. Mate, that is awesome. In a year, you will have mastered this. That is prose at its finest. John Updike is the author's name. Now, there is a slight, you would only do this once, like our techniques, like our other techniques, and the reason is this. All that's happened here is Mr. P crosses the road. That's it. There's a lot of story filling in there. And you go, my goodness, there is so much detail about these cars parking down the bottom of the hill. Why don't you just say that he crossed the bitumen and stood beside the parking bay? Why don't you just do that? Here's the reason. What John Updike is a specialist at is the zoomed in details. He goes to the minutest details over and over and over in his books that give the reader such a clear picture of what's going on. Honestly, it's a literary feast when I read his work. When you construct a sentence like that about the cars and someone crossing the road, about the water and someone crossing the road. It doesn't have to be crossing the road, of course. It could be they're doing anything. But when you take something in the scene, water and cars, and you mix it with the character, Rabbit and Mr. P, you can create something stupendously amazing. Right? That would take practice. But out of 5 now, vote, show me how much you could see the link between what I did and the link up there. That you can see, I see, they're very similar. I see what you did. Out of 5, show me your understanding, because I know it's going to be mixed results. Okay, I'm seeing 4s, 5s, 10s. High schoolers, did you see that? What's your votes? 5s? Yeah, see, if you can see that, honestly, you can construct that. If you can see it, you can construct it. That'll be a new line, I think. If you can see it, you can construct it. But oh, so amazing. That would probably be the best sentence that we've taught so far, in my opinion. That complex, but still so understandable, so comprehensible that it works amazingly. Cool. Imagine trying one of those for homework. Whoa, you'd be a superstar if you could pull that off on your first go. But again, what I want to highlight is it's the placement of the verbs, the shortness of the phrases. You will see they are almost identical. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and a bit. They are almost identical, and that's why it works. If you wanted to have a go at one, if you suddenly chucked more information anywhere there, it would fall over. Okay? John Updike I don't know if he's still alive. He was an expert, prize winner, multiple award winner, right? He was an expert at putting these phrases together to make amazing sentences. And reading his work is just like this, over and over and over and over. Where other authors, I might have found one thing in their book, him, I just keep screenshotting. So we've got a heap to teach you. This is amazing, amazing work. So maybe you get to take this book home. Maybe you could have a go at it sometime over the holidays. Might take you 2 weeks to perfect one of these, but by all means, give it a go. That is stunning writing. All right.
Mr. C, before we go on,
Yeah.
can I just ask, how about the tenses there?
Yes.
Can you just explain what's going on with the tenses?
Which one?
So for example, I noticed that there's a mixture of past and present
Yep.
tense in there.
Because this is the main one here, right there. Because you think about it. At the bottom of the hill, where the cars used to come down, park between lines and deposit, that's where the cars used to. So what you do, you take the cars. Where the cars used to come down, where the cars used to park between the white lines, where the cars used to deposit their little wordsmiths. That's why it's brilliant. It's brilliant because of that. It does have a mixture of tense. Then he goes where the vehicles used to park, filling the sides of the road. That's exactly what he did, right? Coating, waving, waiting. But up there he used present tense. It's genius. Honestly, genius. So as soon as I saw that sentence, I said, that's got to be a Scribble sentence. I couldn't name, you can't name it. It really, honestly, there's so much going on, it can't name it except the... Oh, come on, the...
Mega Tsunami Sentence.
The Mega Tsunami Sentence. All right.